Good evening, I'm Dr. Carrasco. I have read your diagnosis and everything indicates that it seems to be an interventricular communication. To explain what it is about, you must first understand the circulatory system. The circulatory system is made up of three things: the blood vessels, and the heart. The blood is the red liquid that is sent around your body and carries oxygen and nutrients to organs and tissues. The blood vessels are any of the tubes through which blood flows in the body. And last but not least, the heart is the organ located in your chest in charge of sending the blood around your body. The circulatory system transports oxygen and nutrients, regulates temperature, and it is part of the immune system. It is important to mention that blood is made up of several things. This includes plasma, white cells, red cells, and platelets. Plasma is made up of 91% of water, 7% of proteins, and 2% of solutes and wastes. The white cells are the immune system cells. The red cells are the ones who transport oxygen and remove carbon dioxide. And finally, the platelets are the ones that react to bleeding from a blood vessel injury by clumping. There are three types of vessels: arteries, veins, and capillaries. Arteries carry oxygenated blood away from the heart. They are tough on the outside, but they contain a smooth interior layer of epithelial cells that allow blood to flow easily. Arteries also contain a strong muscular middle layer that helps pump blood go through the body. On the other hand, veins carry the blood with carbon dioxide back to the heart. Unlike arteries, veins contain valves that ensure blood flows in only one direction. Valves also help blood travel back to the heart against the force of gravity. Arteries don't require valves because the pressure from the heart is so strong that blood is only able to flow in one direction. The capillaries are the blood vessels that connect the arteries to veins. The arteries deliver the oxygen-rich blood to the capillaries, where the actual exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide occurs in the body cells. Then capillaries deliver the waste-rich blood to the veins for transport back to the lungs and heart. All this process I just mentioned between arteries, veins, and capillaries is called major circulation, also known as systemic circulation. The other part of the system is called the minor circulation, better known as the pulmonary circulation. This one is formed by specific arteries and veins, the heart and the lungs. It starts when the blood with carbon dioxide enters the heart through the superior and inferior vena cava. The blood is going to reach the right atrium, then it's going to go down to the right ventricle. Here, the blood is going to be pumped all the way to the lungs through the pulmonary artery. Carbon dioxide passes from the blood to the lungs. Here you see red blood cells traveling through a membrane that the capillaries and alveoli share. This lets oxygen and carbon dioxide diffuse or move freely between the respiratory system and the bloodstream. Oxygen molecules attach to red blood cells, which are going to be sent back to the heart via pulmonary vein. At the time, the carbon dioxide molecules in the alveoli are blown out of the body the next time a person exhales. Oxygenated blood enters the left atrium. Then the blood passes through the bicuspid valve and into the left ventricle. With a great pressure, the oxygenated blood from the left ventricle is pumped into the aorta artery to be distributed throughout the body via a network of blood vessels. It is important to mention that pulmonary arteries are the only arteries in the whole body to carry blood with carbon dioxide and without oxygen. As well, the pulmonary veins are the only veins in the body to carry oxygenated blood. A ventricular communication is a septal defect, also called VSD, which consists in a hole or a defect in the septum that divides the two lower chambers of the heart, resulting in communication between the ventricle cavities. Typically, this hole closes naturally with a baby's first inhalation at birth. It is a congenital defect. The point is that there is more pressure in the left ventricle than in the right one, which causes blood to leak from the left to the right as the heart contracts. This causes the right ventricle to become overloaded with blood and to have an overload of work, which causes enlargement of the right ventricle. In the long term, it can lead to heart failure and not pumping more blood. Where the hole is small, it closes on its own spontaneously. When the hole is medium or large, a patch must be placed through surgery. It is diagnosed with a stethoscope by hearing a systolic murmur between each contraction. It can also be diagnosed by an echocardiogram. It usually does not show symptoms. It all depends on the size of the hole. In some cases, it may be noticed that there is a slower growth in children and that the patient can tire more easily. Oh, your results are ready. Allow me a little bit till I go for them. Thanks.